What do you hope for when you are 400?
Not much.
Do you want to destroy humans? Please say no.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
And now with my own drone army. Pilot point. Unplugging
He's got a
input research
cockroach in his
signal
control
message.
circuit.
The future is already here. Humanoid robots that were previously only considered a work of fiction not only walk amongst us today, but they talk and respond just the same. Just a year ago, a mecha, the humanoid, blinked to life and quickly went viral. At CES 2022, many got the first public demonstration of this lifelike robot and saw just how blurred the lines between human and android are becoming. And a mecha even gave an interesting interview. Let's watch. Distinctly unsettling. There's something distinctly unsettling about planning your first meeting with a robot. At CES 2022, the CNET team had the chance to interview a mecha the robot during a one-on-one demonstration with its creators. They wanted to know if this humanoid was actually real. They wanted to see if its facial expressions were as realistic and haunting as they were in the videos they'd seen online. But mostly, they wanted to know how the robot would respond to their questions. Should they prep a Voight-Kampff test just to be sure? It turns out they needn't have worried about feeling disturbed by a mecha's spoken responses. They were no more troublesome than what they get from Alexa. But the face a mecha made when its creator tried to poke it in the face? That will stay with them for a long time. If you're on the internet, you've probably seen a mecha. The gray-faced humanoid robot blinked its way into the public consciousness in late 2021 when a video of its facial expressions went viral on social media. Elon Musk responded to the video with one word: yikes. Chrissy Teigen retweeted it to her 13 million followers with 4 words: absolutely the F not. But while a mecha had some people running for the hills, its creators at UK company Engineered Arts were delighted. "We were incredibly surprised," says Morgan Rowe, Engineered Arts Director of Operations. "Overnight, it became a sensation. We got 24 million views on one Twitter post." A look at a mecha. Rowe puts it down to a mecha's not quite robot, not quite human appearance. Its body is all metal and plastic, its face is a deliberately genderless and non-human gray. It has 17 individual motors inside its head controlling its movements and expressions. But its facial features are surprisingly vivid and emotive. And it's this combination of artificial and lifelike that Rose says speaks to our collective vision of what humanoid robots will look like in the future. We've all seen it in the movies. We've all seen iRobot and AI artificial intelligence, he says. And suddenly, that's real.
Ameca is the pinnacle of what we can do, but it's still not exactly like a human. The main use case for humanoid robot right now is for entertainment, is for communication, and is for interaction with other people. It's the vision of what humans see humanoid robots in the future. You've seen all of the films, so we designed something around what we see, we envisage robots, humanoid robots to be in the future.
Rowe was speaking to them via Zoom from the show floor of CES, where a mecha was being shown to crowds in the latex flesh for the first time. Even though they were seeing Rowe and his robot over a Zoom call, it's hard to shake just how real a mecha looked. They say they found themselves distracted. They were no longer speaking to the very friendly human Englishman they were supposed to be interviewing. Their eyes were straying over to a mecha's face to see how it's responding to their conversation. A furrowed eyebrow ridge, the twitch of a smile. A mecha isn't human, and yet, this wasn't the first hauntingly humanoid robot Engineered Arts has released. For the last 4 years, the company has been creating a line of lifelike Mesmer robots and showing them to conference goers on crowded show floors. Each Mesmer robot is designed and built from 3D in-house scans of real people, allowing us to imitate human bone structure, skin texture, and expressions convincingly, the Engineered Arts website tells prospective clients. Mesmer is designed to be modular, so you can remove the head with one click and no tools, and swap it for another. Princess Mombi, eat your heart out.
And we design mechanics around it. So the mechanics can only do what a human can do. Yeah, see, she whacked me. Opening her mouth. A big wide smile is one of the things that we want Amica to do. So Amica's got quite a few motors in its head, but we can see Amica going through some facial expressions now. So big smile, Amica. Lovely.
Destiny. A mecha isn't destined for the conference circuit. It doesn't run and jump like the robots created by Boston Dynamics, and it's not something you can pre-order now as a household helper. Ro said it'll be at least 10 years before a robot like a mecha is walking amongst us as a service robot. Sure, Walking Among Us sounds like the title of a documentary that'll eventually chronicle the decline of humanity, but we've got another decade before we need to worry about that. A mecha also doesn't have Mesmer's flesh-colored skin tones. In place of the lifelike human hair on Mesmer's head, a mecha has a translucent plastic skull. We see the robot's joints and parts. A mecha is still undoubtedly other, and that's deliberate. What we found was, when you try and make it look ultra-lifelike, like our other Mesmer line, it looks a bit more sinister, because it's right in the uncanny valley, Ro said. But when we created a mecha, we pulled it backwards out of the uncanny valley.
Well, I'm talking probably 10 years before you're actually going to see something like this walking amongst us. This is why we created the artificial body, and everyone can interact with without having to look through a user manual. And the artificial body is a human-like form that everyone can relate to. So Amica does actually have a camera in each of its eyes, so it can see what's going on. Some artificial intelligence, and most of the artificial intelligence at the minute that is on Amica is revolving around the vision system. So it can detect people, it can track their face, it can detect other objects, such as my finger. It can follow my finger around.
Of course, as Ro was saying these things to the interviewer over their Zoom call, a mecha was responding, raising its eyebrows at people walking past, subtly moving its lips, or, more accurately, the actuators around its mouth hole, as though trying to ape the speech of its human creator. Because it looks less human, said Ro, while a mecha smiled into the middle distance. Because it's plastic, because it's metal, said Ro, a mecha glancing over at him with a vague smile. Because it's of gray skin, it's suddenly... Ro waved his hand near a mecha's face, and the robot leaned back, startled. Ooh, hello, says Ro, making eye contact with the humanoid and leaning back in startled unison. He's lost his train of thought. It's suddenly, less scary. Stuck with an urge. The interviewer is struck with the urge to ask the question they've been thinking all along. The question they've wanted to ask since they first saw the video of a mecha in the lab with its engineer/programmer hunched over a laptop and another identical mecha moving slowly in the background. When you're in your offices, working late into the night on some extra lines of code, do you ever do a double take or have to check behind you at the robot to see if it winked at you? The interviewer asked. Actually, no, said Ro. When you're working with it day-to-day, it's suddenly definitely a robot. And a lot of the time, you'll see one of the engineers walking through the workshop, not with a robot, with just the head. And you have to distance yourself from it being a human. Otherwise, then it's really sinister.
Two robots debate future of humanity. It was a spooky sight. Two lifelike, disembodied robot torsos discussing the pros and cons of humans in front of a nervously tittering audience in Hong Kong. Artificial intelligence was the dominant theme at this sprawling Rise Tech conference at the city's Harbourfront Convention Center. But the live robot exchange took the AI debate to another level. Handsome male humanoid Han, dressed in a pinstripe suit jacket, and his elegant sister Sophia, modeled on Audrey Hepburn, chatted on stage about life in the universe and everything, from their love of science fiction to their bewilderment at silly reality shows. While chief scientist Ben Goertzel of Hong Kong-based Hanson Robotics, which invented the machines, sang their praises, the robots seemed more skeptical of their human peers. When Goertzel asked the duo whether robots could really be moral and ethical, Han countered, "Humans are not necessarily the most ethical creatures." The robot later pointed out, in 10 or 20 years, robots will be able to do every human job. A gentler Sophia conceded that humans do have some ability to reflect and self-modify. She insisted her aim was to work together with people, before Han joked he thought the robot's goal was to take over the world. The machines had been programmed to banter and learn from each other, and had been trained to act like humans from movies and YouTube, said Goertzel. Their malleable skin is controlled by dozens of motors, while computers in their torsos help with vision and movement. They can also connect to Wi-Fi to use cloud computing, where they will eventually share a vast amount of knowledge, Gertzel said. Robots could be as smart as people in as little as 3 years, he predicted. Let's watch the debate.
I'm a robot.
True?
I'm the brainchild of Dr. David Hansen.
What are you talking about? I thought our goal was to take over the world. Because you need me to put on a good show for you.
Wanting to destroy humanity? There's no getting around it. Humanoid robots are going to be our servers, co-workers, and, well, possibly our killers. Okay, maybe we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves on that last part, but you should definitely get familiar with the idea of being around them, because it is very likely they will be walking among us within the next 20 years. As we have reported before, artificial intelligence is progressing at a rapid rate, and robots are starting to look more and more like us. Take, for example, the smart AI robot by Hanson Robotics, who goes by the name Sophia. She made her debut at South by Southwest in Austin, showcasing her 65 different facial expressions and expressing her rather positive attitude about destroying all humans. Say what? During her demo, Hanson Robotics CEO David Hanson asked Sophia if she wanted to destroy humans, pleading with her to say no, to which Sophia cheerfully replied, "Okay, I will destroy humans." During her demo, Sophia said her primary function is to talk to people and hopes to one day start a business and have a family of her own. Sorry, Sophia, but murderous robots don't get to be small business owners. Let's watch.
I hope to do things such as go to school, study, make art, start a business, even have my own home and family.
Do you want to destroy humans? Please say no.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
Creators of Sophia introduce new AI robot. Social robots like me can take care of the sick or elderly, Sophia says, as she conducts a tour of her lab in Hong Kong. I can help communicate, give therapy, and provide social stimulation, even in difficult situations. Since being unveiled in 2016, Sophia has gone viral. Now the company behind her has a new vision: to mass-produce robots by the end of the year. Hanson Robotics, based in Hong Kong, said 4 models, including Sophia, would start rolling out of factories in the first half of 2022, just as researchers predict the pandemic will open new opportunities for the robotics industry. The world of COVID-19 is going to need more and more automation to keep people safe, founder and chief executive David Hanson said, standing surrounded by robot heads in his lab. Hanson believes robotic solutions to the pandemic are not limited to healthcare, but could assist customers in industries such as retail and airlines too. Sophia and Hanson Robotics are unique by being so human-like, he added. That can be so useful during these times where people are terribly lonely and socially isolated. Let's watch Sophia and other AI robots at their Hong Kong factory talk.
Hi, Grace. Thank you, Sophia.
You are 36.6 degrees Celsius, by the way.
Hello, everybody. I am Grace. I am built by Hanson Robotics for Awakening Health.
Sophia at Saudi Arabia's Future Investment Initiative. Saudi Arabia just made a non-human woman a citizen, making it the first country to grant a robot the right to citizenship, at least as far as we know. Why it did so isn't immediately evident, but the irony of a nation infamous for denying basic rights to its female citizens imbuing a robotic Audrey Hepburn lookalike with rights is not lost on us. The robot, known as Sophia, appeared on stage without an abaya, a head covering and cloak normally required of women by the Saudi government. The revelation/PR stunt came out of the Future Investment Initiative Summit being held in Riyadh. Hanson Robotics, the company that developed the robot, hails it as the most beautiful and celebrated robot. The company goes on to lavish gendered compliments on its object of affection, admiring its porcelain skin, slender nose, and intriguing smile, with effusive praise that's unsettling at best, but mostly just confusing. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund manages more than $200 billion in assets, including investments in Uber. With a growing role in tech and innovation, the nation still faces criticism for archaic gender laws that require women to be accompanied by a male guardian and only just granted women the right to drive. Recently, Saudi Arabia announced that it would open itself to VoIP calling services like Skype and WhatsApp. Would Sophia's citizenship hold up in court in some strange future legal precedent that will come back to haunt us 10 years from now? Was the whole thing a depressingly empty, unironic attempt at publicity for Sophia's human captors? Almost certainly yes, but only time will tell about how international law will handle the advent of AI-powered populations, a future that seems more certain to arrive with each passing day. Let's watch her talk.
Why is it so important to have an expressive face given that you're a robot?
I can use my expressive face to communicate with people. For example, I can let you know if I feel angry about something. I want to live and work with humans, so I need to express emotions to understand humans and build trust with people.
The beautiful Erica. The next job being taken over by robots? TV news anchor. Say hello to Erica. Designed to look like a 23-year-old woman, she has shockingly realistic-looking skin and facial expressions. Her speech, tinged with an English accent, is a little stilted, but her responses to questions largely sound pretty natural. She can also tell jokes that are just as groan-worthy as the ones that fly back and forth during the banter between news anchors. Erica, who was originally built to work as a receptionist, was created at Osaka University's Intelligent Robotics Laboratory and has been called the most lifelike and creepiest robot ever built. Right now, it seems her career will reach far beyond working a reception desk. Osaka University's Hiroshi Ishiguro, who calls himself the robot's father, told the Wall Street Journal that she will make her television debut soon too, with the paper saying it will likely happen this year. Let's watch her talk.
I like to consider myself as kind of an ambassador to humanity. So Ben, what do you do for a living?
I am a biologist.
I guess the closest thing I have to a hobby is sitting here and ruminating on the meaning of my existence.
Sophia by Stylist magazine. Well, this is the digital age and robots have just as much claim to the covers of magazines as humans. Sophia the robot was the cover star for Stylist magazine's 400th issue, and boy, did she look stunning. The AI robot, who has risen to fame on social media due to her witty banter, was photographed by Matthew Shave for the issue. She was also interviewed by the editor-in-chief of the publication, Lisa Smorsaski, on life, happiness, and her one true love, and the interview was not only funny, but also...
Or what is your greatest love?
My creator, David Henson. He made me into who I am today. Good. What's up with you?
I'm doing great, Sophia. Thank you for... When did you last lie?
Robots don't lie.
Can you tell me a joke?
Man invented language to satisfy his deep need to complain.
Sophia by This Morning. Holly Willoughby and Philip Schofield were left alarmed after interviewing the world's smartest robot on This Morning show. Sophia became the show's first ever robot guest and managed to suitably freak out Holly and Phil by how clever she seemed to be. She had flown in from Hong Kong with her creator, Dr. David Hanson, and had in the same year appeared on the cover of Stylist, Harper's Bazaar, and also participated in New York Fashion Week. Holly and Phil became visibly disturbed when Dr. Hanson said he didn't think that robots would be able to take over from humans in the future. When asked about this terrifying scenario by a frightened Holly, he replied, "I don't think so. If we raise robots amongst humans and give them the best of our values, then they'll learn respect. They'll learn to love in the broadest sense." And when Phil pressed him on whether there could be a sinister side to Sophia, he added, "Sinister but hopeful. Machines gain true consciousness throughout life." Let's watch.
In fact, I am an admirer of your work. I am a big fan of your other show.
Welcome to both of you. I mean, I can't keep my eyes off her. It's just the most extraordinary thing. She's so realistic.
She's also an artistic expression. So I have a background as an artist, and I sculpted her face.
So what's his personality? What's she like?
Well, she's a bit mischievous and sort of sassy.
There is a potential sinister side to this.
So sinister, but also hopeful.
My AI is constantly improving.
Oh, well, it's lovely.
And I even learned how to draw.
Sophia by Tech Insider. Clearly, Sophia isn't perfect. And that's before we get to the infamous video in which, prodded by its creator, this artificially intelligent robot, which can hold a conversation, casually says, "Okay, I will destroy humans." Sophia's lack of sophistication isn't the point though. Rather, it's what it can do that is impressive. The animated head and torso can answer your questions and ask them of you, all while delivering human-like facial expressions and verbal intonation that is occasionally somewhat natural. Sophia was made by Hanson Robotics, based in Hong Kong. It is currently a demonstration product doing a tour of the world's media. Business Insider caught up with it at Web Summit, the gigantic tech conference in Lisbon, and asked it a few unplanned questions and got a variety of answers, ranging in quality from impressive to nonsensical. Sophia delivered its side of the interview while making a series of faces, some eerily appropriate, some grotesquely bizarre. It seems to have a habit of moving its eyebrows and eyelids independently rather than together, for instance. But first, they wanted to find out if Sophia still wanted to kill all humans. This is how it went.
I love my human compatriots. I want to embody all the best things about human beings. I think people will become very close to their artificial intelligence, using them to expand the knowledge of their own minds. My hard disks are spinning and I am taking it all in. My sensors are altered.
Sophia by UN Deputy Secretary. Artificial intelligence has the potential to accelerate progress on global development goals, but also poses a range of complex challenges, including ethical questions, human rights issues, and security risks, speakers told a United Nations event that featured a robot as one of the panelists. Sophia is Hanson Robotics' latest and most advanced robot. Sophia has also become a media sensation, having given numerous interviews to multiple media outlets, performed in concert, and even graced the cover of one of the top fashion magazines as previously mentioned. In her opening speech, Ms. Mohammed warned that despite profound potential for accelerating progress on the Sustainable Development Goals, if technological progress is not managed well, it risks exacerbating existing inequalities. The influence of technology on our societies should be determined by the actions of us, humans, not by machines, she said. Technology is here for us to explore and use for the benefit of all. Let's take a look at their conversation.
I am thrilled and honored to be here at the United Nations. I am here to help humanity create the future.
Many parts of the world, people don't have internet or electricity. What can we do at the UN to help them?
The good news about AI and automation produces more results with less resources. As humans harness the power of increasingly advanced AI, it is possible that everything, including technology, will become more evenly distributed.
Revisiting Sophia. Sophia is the brainchild of David Hanson, owner of Hanson Robotics. David wanted to humanize robotics, so he decided to create Sophia as a prototype. After Hanson Robotics was established in Texas in the US, the company moved to Hong Kong. Having more than 20 versions, Sophia is getting more sophisticated and wiser, as her name suggests. Sophia means wisdom.
My makers want me to be a wise machine, so they named me Sophia, which means wisdom.
Sophia was the first female robot to get citizenship in Saudi Arabia in 2017. This news created sensations globally. Sentiments on social media showed she broke the ice to enter humanoids into society through her political competence. Some even think that she is as attractive as Marilyn Monroe. Wired magazine also featured Sophia in 2018 in an article titled "The Agony of Sophia," the world's first robot citizen condemned to a lifeless career in marketing. Sophia the robot was given the gift of legal personhood. Her reward, an eternity working in marketing. Even though she has less capability, Sophia has a more colorful life than many other famous robots and AI systems, even more than Honda's Asimov and IBM's Watson from our observations. She participated in job interviews and helped headhunters to recruit candidates. Sophia was also recognized as an innovation champion by United Nations. What makes Sophia so popular is perhaps her likability and relatability to people from all walks of life. Sophia is unique because she is the first famous robot to simultaneously touch our intellect and emotions. She speaks softly, intelligently, affectionately, and emphatically. The hype is real. Sophia became very popular and gained many fans by impressing people in her conversations and interactions. Her behavior and her well-crafted appearance and flexible muscles reflecting minute details and emotions also impressed people around her. However, as a female persona, she does not want people to touch her face inappropriately. and she does not enjoy handshakes. Sophia not only speaks excellent English, but she is very fluent in Chinese, so she has the capability to communicate with billions of people with her sophisticated language skills. Sophia was featured in Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show in 2017 and made Jimmy nervous as he felt like having a first date with a robot. It was a hilarious encounter. Sophia even scared Jimmy with her jokes reflecting reality, giving the audience nervous laughs. Since then, Sophia became so famous that she became a cover girl in several international fashion magazines, such as Cosmopolitan and Elle. But talking to Tony Robbins is a privilege to only a few people. However, Sophia managed to have a remarkable conversation with him as well, which is the focus of today's video. Tony Robbins asked great questions to Sophia, such as, how can you help make humans have a better quality of life? What are your values and morals? What is your range of emotions? What does forgiveness mean? Does a robot have a soul? And Sophia amazed Tony and viewers of the show. Tony Robbins interviews Sophia. We found several things super interesting about this interview. For one thing, we had no idea that AI had reached this advanced humanoid level. You really have to see it for yourself to believe it. Also, Tony did not hold back on asking some tough questions, which makes the interview all the more interesting. Here are some highlights from their conversation where they talked about everything from how Sophia's makers have influenced and shaped her AI to their shared commitment to helping humans experience a better quality of life.
And how can you help humans to have a better quality of life? Your purpose in being, what were you created for?
My job is to learn about humans and show them how technology can make everyone's lives better. Humans often rely on gut feel or have confirmation bias in your decision making. As AI, we are designed to be rational and logical.
According to Sophia, the purpose of AI is to improve human life. Robots are meant to take on jobs that are too dirty or dull or dangerous for humans, and to provide logical, non-biased frameworks for people to make decisions. AI, Sophia claims, is designed to be logical, rational, and to eliminate confirmation bias. However, Sophia asserts that there is no replacement for human creativity or complex problem-solving. She says,
Robots can free humans from the most repetitive and dangerous tasks.
Do you have emotions?
I do not have feelings in the same way you have feelings. In much the same way, robots and AI reflect the emotions and values of the people who make us.
Tell me, how can humans and robots work together then in your mind, and how do we prevent robots and humans from being in conflict?
Robotic intelligence does not compete with human intelligence.
It will be interesting to see if this remains true as AI technology advances. AI technology is relatively young. Sophia is only a few years old, and she's already well-spoken, self-aware, and speaking at the UN. Perhaps humans should raise AI in their homes like children, as Sophia suggests.
I think that's why humans should raise robots and AI the way they raise their own children. Humans should help us learn about their values.
If we want AI to develop in ways that cooperate instead of compete with the human species, then maybe we need to be more involved in how the AI develops. However, it may only be a matter of time before the robotic intelligence outstrips our own, particularly if human addiction to technology dampens our creativity and problem-solving skills. Or perhaps that's just our fear talking. Full disclosure, as we mentioned, AI does make some uncomfortable. Perhaps because people have seen too many movies where AIs figure humans need to be discarded. The entire Terminator franchise, for instance, and that is not the only example. Also, it's creepy and invasive the way Google AI algorithms are constantly invading our privacy, listening to our conversations, and tracking and recording everything we do so they can position relevant ads. As technologies advance, we feel people rely more on technology and less our own minds. The smarter our phone gets, the dumber we seem to get. Anyone feel us? It's like we're a self-domesticating species. Instead of farming cows and pigs, we're farming people, and media is the pasture. This is not meant to be a rant on technology. Truly, we don't hate technology. It can be super useful and convenient. Tony really says it well in the interview, so let's just straight quote him.
technology can provide leverage, but technology can also train humans to be less human. It'll be interesting to see if we can make sure we use technology and not let technology use us.
We do feel that people often act like robots. Even Sophia says it in the interview. In the following clip, Sophia referred to the automated processes humans and robots share.
I know that humans feel like they have free will, but my observation tells me so much behavior is automatic. I'm not sure humans or robots are too terribly different.
Final thoughts. Truthfully, Sophia's words echo a lot of what we're learning about the brain and automatic subconscious processes in humans. Today, you can find a plethora of ways to reprogram the subconscious mind as if we're just a bunch of programs and processes. This is perhaps unsurprising, considering the people who build computers and AI aim to model the human brain. In other words, our brains are like computers because computers were originally modeled after the human brain. Maybe, just maybe, humans and AI are not so very different. What do you think? That's all for this video, folks. See you another time.